Hi everyone. This is Muhammad Amir Khan back with another video. In this video, I'm going to explain how to handle when you're getting undetermined or infinite value when you're doing some calculation. All right. So let's get started. Let me explain you first what you are going to achieve here. So let me open one notepad and show you uh, an example of an issue and how to handle it. Okay, so when I do some division like 12 divided by 6, I get an answer stating like it's 2. Okay, when I do some division 14 divided by some 2, I'll get an answer of like 7. So let's say when I'm dividing some number, it can be any, divided by 0, then I'll get undetermined. How to handle this kind of scenarios. All right, so let's see how to do it. So I'll show you an example. So here I have created a graphical based calculation view. All right, let me show you the data of a table: t underscore vbak underscore sorry, t underscore vbap underscore netw underscore kwmng. So it has three different columns, three different fields with 5 orders and have some amount, and we have some quantity as well. There is one record in which we do not have any quantity. Okay, it's a zero quantity. So sometimes what happens is in quality system, so data is not organized or maintained properly. So there might be chances of like having a quantity with zero as a unit. So in this case, so what happens is when you are trying to, so this is a total quantity, total amount and total quantity. So I want to find the amount per quantity. So I have a amount of 100 for quantity 2. So for one quantity, what it is like 100 divided by 2. So I'll get 50. Okay. So in the same way, I can find the quantity per each unit. Okay, per each unit in quantity. So I have quantity of like 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have an amount for those two quantities. Okay, those two units as 100. So if I want, now my requirement is I have to find amount of each quantity. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll divide net amount by quantity. Okay, so let me do it here in the calculated column. Create a calculated column for that. So the name is cc underscore net wr per unit. Okay, it is decimal 13 comma 2, and expression is amount by quantity. So this is an expression. I've activated it. It's completed successfully. When I display the data in an output, so calculator column that will be enabled. See, I get division by 0 is undefined. Okay, so it says this value 500. Okay, this net amount cannot be divided by amount 0. So what I'm doing is I'm dividing net amount divided by quantity, which means amount divided by quantity will give me the amount per each quantity, right? This is my requirement. So in our case, so in the fifth record, I have 500 as a amount and quantity is maintained as 0. Usually the quantity will not be 0, but sometimes in quality system, okay, HANA quality system, sometimes the data is not organized properly. Okay, so maybe because of that the quantity is maintained as 0. So in this case, so if I'm doing 500 divided by 0, so the division is not possible, undetermined. Whenever you find 0 in the denominator, you cannot divide this kind of scenarios, undetermined. Okay, so how to handle this, let me tell you. So I need to go to the calculated column which is created. So here I need to use an if condition. So if will give you two different things. It will ask you the condition. Okay. So what my condition is, KW MENG. If it is 0, see, look at carefully what I'm doing. If the condition is 0, then I'm doing make it 0. Okay. Else go to the formula. This is what I'm doing. So now what I'm doing is, in undetermined cases, I'm giving you the answer as 0. Okay. And give the answer as 0. So activate it. When I preview the data now, see, 500 divided by 0 cannot divide 500 500 to 0. But what I have written in an exception in if condition is, if the KWMENG is 0, the denominator is 0 here, so then give me the answer as 0. Else divide net amount with KWMENG. So this is how you can handle this sort of scenarios. Okay, so you can do it in scripted base also. Let me quickly show you the syntax of it so that you can make use of it if it is required. So hope this is clear for you, right? So we are just using an if condition and handling that condition where your denominator value KWMENG is 0. Then what you're doing is simply making an answer or a result as 0 for that column. Else you are going to the calculation, the formula, net amount by your quantity. All right. So that is the thing. Okay. So how I will write is, I will select the data from the table. When I select star, it will show you the data, how it looks like. So I have three columns: amount, sales order number, amount, and quantity. So I am creating a new column like amount per unit by dividing net amount by KWMNG. Okay. So let me write it down. S number, S NETWR, then KWMNG, then NETWR divided by KWMNG as NETWR per unit. All right. So when I execute this, what happens is it will throw an error. So you cannot divide something by 0. That is what it will say. So division by 0 is undefined. So when you see this sort of error, then you need to go with your code and check if you are dividing something by 0. So I'm dividing something by 0 here, right? Because in the fifth record, what I have is, I have 500 as an amount and 0 as a quantity. So in the code, you can see like amount by quantity here. So 500 divided by 0 will be undetermined. So it's not, it's saying the same thing. Division by 0 is undefined. So in these cases, we need to write some exception stating that case when your denominator KWMNG is 0, then complete answer is 0. Else you perform this and write an end like this. So you see, so you say 0, right? So I don't want these many values after decimal, like I want only 2 digits. So I can make it like round of this number See, only two decimals what I'm giving here. To whatever number I want, I can give it here, and it will limit to only those many decimals. So in the real, we can present this as a real-time scenario also, stating that in quality we do not have proper organized data for quantity, field quantity. So this comes from VBAP table, right? So when we are trying to find amount for each uh, amount for each item, okay. So we are dividing the quantity with amount, all right, to find the amount per each unit, okay, each quantity. So when we try to perform this formula, there are few cases, there are cases where we don't have the amount quantity value, uh, but we have a quantity value with zero. So when this kind of scenario comes into the calculation. So what happens is the value is undetermined. So to handle this undetermined value, so we write a case statement stating that when your denominator is zero, then make the answer as zero, else you perform the formula amount by quantity. In graphical calculation also, this is how we can write the formula, right? If your denominator kwmng equal to zero, then make the value as zero for this field, or else perform the formula that is amount by quantity, which will give amount per each unit. Okay, so hope this is useful. You can correlate this scenario to this example to your business scenarios, and it can be helpful if this can be taken as a reference if you find similar sort of scenarios in your projects. So hope this will be helpful for you. So if you have any comments or feedback, please feel free to comment on this video. Thanks for watching it. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Take care.